I will come back to you, promise.
You and I had about a very second discussion on this. I didn't quite get your way of thinking.
You probably exhausted all of my knowledge.
Well, we were, Jesus descended, Joe himself, talks about the increase of the dead. In 1 Peter said by which he went and preached unto the spirits in prison. Or 1 Peter 4:6, that this cause the gospel was preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to those that are in the flesh. In other words. And I have heard quite a few different interpretations on that. But since I was in high school, about 110 years ago, I think it was, I've always heard it preached that he went to preach to people who died before he fulfilled the plan there.
Right.
Then a chance to,
And the creeds of the church would seem to reflect that also. I mean, the Apostles' Creed, Nicene Creed, that they say, he descended and set the captives free.
Yeah, well,
And so,
the thinking was that people that died prior to him resurrection and stuff, that they never had a chance to, that he went to himself to them. I'd like to know, get your take on that.
I will say that whatever Jesus was doing, whatever it says for those 3 days in the tomb that he descended, and this passage, whatever he was doing, I don't think that it was he had to go preach to them because they had never heard, because the Bible already makes it clear that, like Abraham, for instance, it was already credited to him as righteousness. So he was already righteous before God, even though it was Christ that would purchase that righteousness. It's not that Jesus had to then come back and preach to Abraham and tell him the gospel. We don't see that was necessarily what was going on. This is a point of much contention. I mean, there's different denominations, different people that have their different takes on it.
My idea is you could get three really intelligent Bible scholars discuss it and get three different entities.
Where was the passage you were saying?
The last one is 1 Peter 4:6.
Okay.
1 Peter 3 and 9.
Now that the one from 1 Peter, I can almost certainly believe that is not referring to that. Because this is Peter writing to the church under persecution, under suffering. And if you look at the verses around it, it's talking, I don't think it's talking about that per se. He's just talking about, those who have come before but died, like actual living people who have been preached to and died. And not, those who came before. The Christians who have come after, they heard the gospel and then have since died under the persecution. I think that's more what Peter's talking to there. What was the other verse? Okay. For Christ died for sins for all, the righteous for the unrighteous, to bring you to God, to put to death and body and nail. Is that where that? And also he went and preached to the spirits in prison who disobeyed long ago when God waited patiently in the days of Noah while the ark was being built.
A lot of them tied into the days of Noah.
Right, and I think there's a lot of figurative stuff where it's comparing Christ to, in Noah, like the ark saved the righteous, and just, Christ saves the righteous. I have no problem believing that Christ went to preach to those who had gone before and never had a chance to hear. That doesn't bother me at all. Right. And that seems to be the take of the church fathers. Like I said, it's in the creeds. That seems to be where they fall on that. But like you said, you can get three theologians together and have three different takes on it. And so that might be another one that I'm not going to hold a firm grasp to. But it does seem to be saying right there that he did go and preach to those who had gone before. And so exactly who that was or why, it's not clear. That's something that maybe those in the first century would have understood in their situation, or their theology, their tradition. They would have known exactly what Peter's saying.
I've never heard of it, where the place of the dead is.
Yeah.
Place of dead, or Hades, the priest.
Now, as far as the place of the dead, from best what I understand in Scripture, I don't think that there is currently like a heaven and hell, and people are going there as they die. That comes later. At the end, at the judgment, then people are either in hell or in heaven, or the new earth, whenever all that gets created. Right now, the Bible just kind of refers to, it uses, in the Greek documents, it uses the word Hades, which is just the general term for the afterlife. And in the Old Testament, the Hebrew word was Sheol, which meant grave, but it was just the general term for the afterlife. It didn't make a specific determination of paradise or punishment. Yeah. And so.
Jesus told the thief on the cross, this day you will be with me in paradise.
Yeah. The thief on the cross, and Jesus telling him, you will be with me in paradise. That's because Jesus, apparently didn't go that day even to paradise himself. And so that one is a bit of a conundrum. There could be that time issue going on there, where, how does time work in heaven versus on earth? Whenever we die, where do we go? How's that time work? It seems to me that however that works, whenever you died, whether it was, people in the flood 2,000 or 4,000 years ago, or, someone in 2016, it might be to them as that they show up in the afterlife at the same time. I don't know, again, that's another one. You get three experts on it, you'll have three different explanations.